Hey everyone, Jesse Martinez here with Cody from CH Lonestar in Dallas, Texas. I'm out here working with Resupply. And the reason I'm out here is because Cody was having a lot of problems printing water base. And he requested that I come out here, and he wasn't going to print any more water base until I came out here and showed him how to print.
I demanded them.
So here we are at Cody's shop. And actually, I really like his shop. Really nice shop, air-conditioned shop, perfect print facility for water base. So we've been going over some things that were causing some of the problems that Cody was having. And Cody himself has also been working with Brian over at Resupply. And he had some really good suggestions on how to improve his pre-press area. And I think that's where we found most of the problems were going. And I'm going to let Cody talk a little bit more about what his experiences.
For sure.
And what, you know, the reason I'm here today.
Yep. So we started our business probably 3 years ago as a hobby, and now we're in a 3,500 square foot building. Got it started with plastisol, just doing the research. That's kind of what we fell into, and then learned all learning curves from there. And then we're starting to take care of customers now that truthfully have the money to want to spend for just a better quality product. And so that's why we thought, hey, we'll go into water base. And the first thing we jump into is discharge. And so that's kind of why we're sitting here. I feel like more on the discharge side than anything, but we're just wanting to get more into the water based stuff. A couple months ago, we bought the whole mixing system and the whole kit, and it just got frustrating for every small business. And with the things going on in the world right now, it's just tough to learn and do all that. But at the same time, we all still got to make a living. And so that's why I was like, hey, I don't care. I need you to come here. Even if it's the little things, I feel like most of the time it is, it's not a product problem. It's more of, what are we doing wrong? What are the right steps, and how do we fix them? And so as any small business, time is money, and you get frustrated. And when you show up like this, it makes things feel a little bit more comfortable, like, hey, I'm trying to do whatever I can. And so this kind of, from round one, emulsion, what emulsion, which Brian helped get the right emulsion, and then just, burning at the right sets, and the tape, and it's every process. And it's like every single one, I wouldn't say I had to learn the hard way, but it's like it gets frustrating.
Correct.
And so that's why I was just like, let's just walk through them. And I feel like you can point some of those out for me. So,
yeah, and I appreciate the opportunity, Cody. Not everybody will call the manufacturer or the distributor and say, hey, we need help.
Yeah, we just go to social media and vent.
And bash.
Yeah.
They love bashing people on social media. Speaking of social media, you reached out on social media for some help. And what was your experience on social media?
Well, you got 1,200 million people that think they all know the right thing. And, hey, some of them, I feel like you said, every shop is completely different, and that's what makes it tricky. Every shop being the climate, the humidity, and all that, and plastisol doesn't really matter. You just get after it, and you roll. But with water base, it's a whole different learning curve. And I want to learn it bad, but I just need to understand the steps and how to handle that. With social media, don't get me wrong, there's awesome people out there that go above and beyond. That's what I like about this business, is a lot of people do have your back and will do what they can, but their shop's completely different. And so when they tell you, hey, this is what you do, and you try that 1,200 times and you're frustrated, we're in two completely different states. Everything's completely different. And so I think that's kind of you showing up and you seeing exactly how we run, which I know, it's tough for you to do that for every shop.
Correct.
But you trying is what matters, So
and this is the reason I wanted to record this today, Cody, and I appreciate you getting in front of the camera with me. Yeah. My goal is to reach more printers, to be able to help more printers that are interested in switching to water base. There is a shortage in plastisol inks right now, so there needs to be a plan B.
For sure.
Okay, and
and I wouldn't even really say as a plan B, like a lot of people that do water base will sit there and say, hey, when you go water base, you never go back. And for me, I'm at that step where I'm like, there's no way. Like, there's so much more work in it. But bigger companies are doing it. There's a reason for it, And so you just got to take the time and it's hard being a small business and having the time to actually do it, and that's the tricky part, you know.
And that's the honest opinion of, you know, a printer who is struggling right now, but is willing to put in the time
For sure.
To learn it, get better at it, and who knows, maybe in a year from now, we'll be sitting here talking again, and you'll be like, Jesse, I love water base. Yeah. And that happens a lot. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I do see that.
Yeah.
It just takes time, practice, but when you're busy, you don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
Yes,
and that's the thing with Brian. Like, Brian comes in, and I'm like, I got the time, and then 5 seconds later, I got a rush order. I'm like, I don't have the time.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's tough because I get his time, and I get, you know, it's tricky. You know, because you got to make a living at the same time, but he does too. So you just got to respect that as much as you possibly can.
And that's what we're here to help.
For sure.
You know, so once you do have the time, it's just really scheduling time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to try to do more of these videos on the road.
Oh yeah.
And when I visit shops, I'm going to try to get as much information. I don't care if it's negative or positive. It's what's going to help printers feel more comfortable about what they're doing and understanding what they have to do to prepare.
For sure.
You
and
know,
I mean,
just like you had to prepare here. You know, we found out pre-press.
Yeah.
Was
and don't get me wrong. Like, even we're doing this video, it hasn't been perfect. You know, like, but I wouldn't say it's Brian's fault or it's your fault. It's more of just communication and maybe just me not knowing how to use it, you know. And so when we talk about this stuff, it's a perfect world. It's not. It's never going to be. You just have to be open-minded and be like, hey, let's try to figure this out. I'm not worried about the past. Let's just take our steps and figure out what we need to do, you know. And you know, not everyone's like that. They get mad, they're done. You know, you can't do that in this business. You cannot do that.
No.
And so
there's no school of screen printing. You know, it's trial and error.
Yeah. And I've done the YouTube. You know, I've done so much research. It's like I said, it's just different for every shop. You know, and so it's just trial and error. So I mean, I printed this shirt 4 times. You know, so or this job 4 times trying to figure it out, and I'm starting to figure out what I was doing wrong. So,
and like I said, Cody, I wanted to get your honest opinion for everybody out there that's looking to get into water base. From my end, I'm learning a lot about what I need to do to help more printers. I can't travel to see everybody, but I'm going to try to do more videos. And you know, the next videos you'll see after this are going to be more technical videos, more instructional videos, what to do, what not to do. I learned a lot here, being here with Cody. He showed me some things that I need to point out to put it out there for the printers to take into consideration before they start printing water base. So Cody, I thank you very much for allowing me this time.
For sure.
And you know, sharing your experience with all the printers out there, because they need to hear this. Okay. So I, you know, is there anything else you wanted to tell them?
That should be it. I mean, that should be it for me.
All right. So
I appreciate it.
Jesse on the road here with Cody, CH Lonestar in Dallas, Texas. And we're going to keep trying here until we get it perfect. And once we get it perfect, we'll get Cody back on and tell us his experience. So see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you.